Hello, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this IBT Thought Leadership session today with Mr. Amit Kumar, Senior Director, Social Transformation and Knowledge Management, DERI. Mr. Kumar is a mechanical engineer with specialization in thermal engineering from the University of Roorkee, now the Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee, where he was awarded the University Gold Medal. As Senior Director, Social Transformation, Mr. Kumar is responsible for initiatives focusing on energy access, holistic rural development, and community engagement. Earlier, Mr. Kumar has also led research activities in the fields of renewable energy and resource-efficient process technology applications in DERI. He has been working on the development and diffusion of cleaner and renewable energy resources-based technological solutions in India for over 37 years. His experience ranges from policy and program formulation through project implementation to the design and development of renewable energy technologies, as well as the manufacturing of solar energy devices. His exposure combines different facets of renewable energy industry as well as the research domain. Today, we will be discussing with him the rise of solar rooftops in India and the potential of the industry to become a global front runner in the sunrise sector in the spirit of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Good morning, Mr. Amit Kumar, and thank you so much for joining us on this IBT Thought Leadership session today on the rooftop solar sector in India.
Thank you, Virat.
Yeah. First question to you is, what, in your opinion, are the factors responsible for the rise in the use of solar rooftops in India? Which are the key regions in India where such form of renewable energy can be successfully tapped?
So I will respond to your second question first. As far as solar rooftop or for that matter, any amount of solar energy applications are concerned, I must say that we are fortunate to have all the regions blessed with good amount of solar energy. So as such, solar rooftop can be applied usefully everywhere in India. Second point is that the rise, and actually I must qualify that rise is not that much as we would have thought, is on account of the kind of costs that are associated with solar rooftop system. So the electricity that is being produced by rooftop system for me to consume, either as a domestic consumer or as an industrial consumer, is actually much less than what I do pay for conventional grid. And also now, as far as escalation in conventional grid power is much more, as opposed to that, solar rooftop generated electricity prices more or less remain same for next 20-25 years. So I think that's a very attractive proposition for any consumer.
So from a business perspective, what are the opportunities and challenges for a business to invest in this sector? And how do you think more investments can be encouraged by the private sector into rooftop solar?
See, given that solar or renewable energy in general is a sunrise sector, so to say, and if we look at the kind of discussion that are going on where all the countries, including India's aspiration is to move toward net zero economy by, the deadline could be varying. It could be 2040, 2050 or 2060. But writing on wall is clear that we have to move towards renewable energy. And that's very, very clear that energy transition has started and it will continue to occur. So from that perspective, for any businesses to start investing in these sectors, particularly solar in India, is a very, very opportune movement, I would say, because as early as you ride on this bandwagon, it would be beneficial. Now, how to encourage people and particularly businesses to invest more in these kind of sectors? I think the consistency of policy and political reliability are essential, not only for this particular business, for any businesses, but more so in this because financing in many of them becomes difficult or costly if these risk perceptions are not addressed adequately.
In this sector, are there some key international examples of countries who have successfully grown this sector, and what lessons India can take from such case studies?
So one of the countries that we always take lessons from, and particularly from the point of view how to encourage and propagate renewable energy, has always been Germany. So in fact, all our previous kind of regulatory and fiscal incentives, whether in terms of feed-in tariff or whether in terms of promoting rooftop solar, all are essentially based on experiences that were generated in Europe, particularly in Germany. So that is one country to look at. Again, likes of Germany and Denmark are countries where one can always look into how are they managing such a high penetration of renewable energy in their grids, which we at times find difficult, and or rather we take that as a pretext that why renewable energy and variable renewable energy cannot be fed into our grid system to a large extent. So those are the case I would rather like to look into. But looking into our closest neighbor, and that is China, I think that's a country one must look into. And in a way, I would look into two distinct policies that they went into as far as promoting renewable energy is concerned. And those two policies were, one, promoting renewable energy, and that is as far as deployment of renewable energy concerned, and where all these fiscal and financial incentives and regulation comes into picture. But more importantly, even before coming out with policy to deploy renewable energy, they also came out with detailed policy as far as renewable energy industry is concerned. And I think that's the lesson we need to look into, that how they right from the beginning categorize renewable energy industry, particularly wind and solar, as one of their strategic intervention, and then design all their policies around that, so that not only it can serve its own domestic requirement, but more importantly, actually, it becomes a global player. And that's what we are seeing today, and that's what we are trying to combat today. So I think in our own national solar mission, if you have read it, which came out in 2010, one of the objectives was for India to become leader in manufacturing. But somehow over the years, that particular objective got sidelined and we only focused on deployment side. Whereas I feel that if we were to deploy at a scale that we are talking about, so-called Atmanirbharta has to be there in default.
So would you like to elaborate a bit on the Atmanirbharta aspect, as in what key challenges do we face today, and what policy interventions would you like to suggest to ensure that we are able to?
Yeah, I think, Virat, if you look at, and I'm taking solar as a case over here, is that globally, the pricing and efficiencies are two factors which are becoming more and more critical in this field. Now, if we were to be Atmanirbhar in that, we have to, and we don't have any other option but to compete with global players. So even if we provide protections like increase basic custom duties or safeguard duties, the point remains that even after providing safeguard duties, lot of our domestic capacity remained unutilized because of the simple fact that developers went on for cheaper and more attractive modules and systems from other countries, particularly China and Malaysia and all those kind of things. So it's given that we have to compete with these kind of players, because I must emphasize that affordability, or rather cost of generation, the tariffs would always remain a key factor in India in any sector. And if you have noticed in last few months, many of the utilities have actually gone back on the bidding and the auction that they had carried out, just because of the fact that new bid came out with lower tariff. So competing on pricing would remain a challenge for domestic industry, and that's where I think indigenous R&D and continuous R&D by industries would a given fact. This is something we can't avoid. But again, I am taking an example from China, where when they came out with their renewable energy industrial policy, they created a special fund which supported domestic industries to carry out research, development, innovation. So I think those are the kind of things we in India also will have to think about, because somehow in this race for renewable energy, and we have done remarkably well as far as deployment is concerned, but I think we have lost sight of indigenous research, development, and innovation.
And sir, in the post-COVID scenario, how has the global supply-demand situation been affected? Because obviously there was supply chain disruption due to China being badly hit. But how do you see the global landscape post-COVID, and how can India benefit from this in the coming years?
No, I think our renewable energy industry has done very well even during challenging COVID-19 times. And actually, the way things are going on, I don't know when that post-COVID scenario is going to come. But the point remains that I don't see that is going to impact in a large fashion in a medium to long term. Yes, there were short-term and immediate term hiccups because of lockdowns and bans on travel and all. But now things are coming to normal, and I definitely feel that we would be doing pretty good in this financial year onwards.
So finally, I would like to ask you from a holistic perspective, considering the global trends in this sector, how important has the solar sector become for India in terms of energy security, as well as a sector where its industry can, actually become a global leader? So how important has the sector become in the present global context as a futuristic sector for business investment?
So as I said earlier, given the fact that transition to renewables is given, it is going to occur. Timelines could differ depending on a variety of factors. So in that scenario, solar space takes a very great role as far as the energy transition is concerned. And when I say solar, ultimately it is going to be solar plus storage, because at some point of time we will have to take out that variability part out of it if it is to become one of the mainstream sources for our electricity supply. So I think there is no question that solar energy is going to take a center stage in India's position as climate leader globally. Also, when we are encouraging our domestic industry, as I always maintain, domestic industry has to stop looking only inwards and stop looking only at demand that India can create. But if it is to think in terms of scales, and which is inevitable if it has to control the cost, I think it has to actually look at the global demand and how it can meet that. So that way also, in time to come, with right kind of policies, with the right kind of support to industry, I think solar industry and solar per se can play a very important role in a global climate change mitigation scenario.
Right, sir. That will be all from our end for today. Thank you so much for your insights, and we are really hopeful that the industry will be able to leverage the opportunities in this sector going forward, and as you said, shed its inward-looking approach and actually fulfill its potential to be a global leader. Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
I do hope so, Virat, and in fact, I look forward to that day. And thank you very much, Virat.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Pleasure. We look forward to continuous interactions with you on this topic.
Sure,
sure.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.